In this video, you will learn how to set up the Applied Biosystems Step 1 Plus thermocycler and software for the RT reaction. While you are setting up the machine, make sure your samples are on ice. To begin, turn on the computer and the thermocycler. The power button for the thermocycler is located at the left rear of the machine. This will take a few minutes. On the computer, open the Step 1 Plus software. A sign-in screen will appear. Leave the login name as is so you can access past data if necessary. Click OK. A blue screen will appear that will detail the startup process. While waiting for the software to load, check to see if the experiment is already saved on the thermocycler machine. On the home screen, touch the button in the upper left-hand corner, Browse New Experiments. Look for a cDNA experiment in the experiment box. If you do not see one, that means you need to transfer the experiment from the computer. If you do see the experiment, you can ignore the transfer step that we will go over now. Go back to the computer. You should see the home menu. Go to the toolbar at the top of the screen and select Instrument. In the drop-down menu, there will be an option to send an experiment to the instrument. Select this option. A dialog box will appear. Click Browse to search for an experiment to send. Select one of the DNA experiments. In this video, we will use the cDNA experiment from November 21st, 2010. Click Open, and then Send Experiment. Another dialog box will appear, letting you know that the experiment was successfully sent. Now turn back to the thermocycler. Again, touch the button in the upper left-hand corner, Browse/New Experiment. The experiment that you just sent should now be in this folder. To avoid needing to transfer the experiment again, select the View/Edit box in the lower portion of the screen. First, check to make sure that the proper run method transferred. The run method should be 10 minutes at 25 degrees Celsius, followed by 120 minutes at 37 degrees Celsius, then 5 minutes at 85 degrees Celsius, and finally, an indefinite amount of time for 4 degrees Celsius. When satisfied with the run program, touch Save at the bottom right-hand corner. You will be brought to a save screen where you will be asked to name the experiment, select a folder to save it in, and the reaction volume. Make sure the reaction volume is 20 microliters. This should be the default. We saved this experiment in the transfer folder, but you could also select the template folder. When done, touch Save and Exit at the bottom right. A window will appear telling you that the experiment saved. Touch OK. You will now be brought back to the Browse/New Experiment screen. To check that your experiment saved, click on the folder button below the Exit button in the upper right. You will be brought to a blue screen with the 3 folders that are on the machine. Select the folder that you saved the experiment in, and check to see that it is there. You can now use this experiment in the future. Touch the experiment name to select it. Retrieve your samples from the ice, and make sure one more time that there are no bubbles in the tubes, and that all the tubes are securely snapped into place in the Veriflex tray. Open the tray of the thermocycler and place the Veriflex tray into the heating plate. Make sure that all of the tubes are completely submerged into their respective wells of the heating plate. If they are not, you probably have the tubes in the tray upside down. When you are sure that all of the pieces are properly fitting together, close the thermocycler tray and look back up to the screen. Touch the Start button in the lower left-hand corner of the screen. A dialog box will appear asking you if you want to collect uncollected data. Touch Overwrite. You will need to confirm that you want to start the experiment by touching Start Run Now. and then OK. There will be grating sounds as the tray is lifted up into position and as the thermocycler goes through all the different temperatures. Do not be alarmed. This is normal. Now, look at the clock. You will need to come back when the experiment is finished in 2.5 hours to put the cDNA samples in the freezer. Make sure that the tray is once again in the down position before trying to open it to retrieve the samples. You will know the tray is in the down position by the appearance of a blue stripe. Freezing the samples is important for maintaining their integrity, so be on time. Once you have placed the samples in the freezer, turn the thermocycler off using the power button located at the left rear of the instrument. Please watch the next video to learn about some of the basics of the PCR process before beginning.